The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1, speaks to us concerning the weight that's upon us. And he says the weight, it's sin. And he relates it to sin. I told you the last couple of days that if it's sin that's down in the depths of our being, of our soul, that it's going to lie in those three categories: lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, the pride of life. Somewhere in there's something that has gone wrong. And a heart of disobedience and rebellion, and many times it gets so suppressed that we don't even realize what's happened because we've just moved on. Well, if you follow this scripture and you go to the next verse, again, this is Hebrews chapter 12, you'll read these words. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Now, the thing is about the book of Hebrews is that the book of Hebrews was given to us at the kind of the end of the era. This is when many of the older apostles had moved on. And this was a refreshing for the movement, for Christianity. And it gave us much of the backstory of Christianity. We're talking about Jesus, the pre-incarnate Christ, in heaven with God, as he is proclaimed as Lord of Lords and King of Kings, who became a king after the order of Melchizedek. In other words, Hebrews gives us the backstory of what was happening before he became flesh and dwelt among us. So you're reading through the book of Hebrews and you come to chapter 11. Chapter 11 is referred to as the roll call of faith. And our writer tells us about the old saints and how that they endured and how that they had victory in the midst of calamity and struggles. Talks about those who looked for a city that they never saw, but they believed in God. And faith sustained them. Abraham proclaimed as the father of faith. But when you go to chapter 12, you read about the ultimate champion. The ultimate champion of our faith. And our writer refers to him as the finisher of our faith, who endured the cross and the cruelty thereof, and sat down on the right hand of the Father, and is there forever pleading our case. In other words, he's there to help us to deal with sin in our lives, and even suppressed sin. Something that perhaps that we have missed something here because we didn't deal with it. We didn't find confession in our hearts. And so we struggle with it. It's a weight upon us. But our writer simply tells us that Jesus is there to help us with those heavy weights and burdens. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.